Hello, everyone. My name is Nigora. I'm a GAPS coach. Also, I'm studying right now at Nutritional Therapy Association School. I am a mother of a nonverbal autistic child, and today we'll be talking about autism. If you have autistic child, and it doesn't matter how old is he, if he's 2, 3, 5, 10, 12, 30, or 40, it doesn't matter. You can help your child. You can make his life easier. I'll tell you my story and you can think about it. My son was born in 2012 and he was perfectly fine, 6.5 pounds, beautiful blonde boy with blue eyes, black eyelashes. He was growing up fine, everything was okay until 18 months. At 18 months, something happened and then it just clicked. He started going backwards instead of going forward. His sister was developing fine, but he was behind. And every time I asked pediatrician what's wrong with him, she would say, well, this is twins. He's a twin boy, and boys in general late, and then especially twin are late anyway. So I trusted her. And then we put him to school at the age of 2. He was 2 years old. He started going to preschool. And his teacher, I remember clearly, his teacher, Miss Selena, at the school, he was 2 years and 2 months. It was February. And she told me that my son doesn't talk with other children and he doesn't interact with other children. Maybe something is wrong. She said, to me, it's a sign of autism and you need to take it to the doctor. At that time, I thought she's crazy. Why she would call my son autistic? He's fine. He's just a little bit late. That's okay. And I ignored. And then at the same year, it was 2012, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, it was 2015. Um, I went to California for vacation. And the first time he got an ear infection at that time. So we took it to the doctor, antibiotics. And at that time, right now, I'm thinking it was a sign of autism at that time because he was acting a little bit weird and he wanted to jump in trampoline like nonstop. But I don't know, as a mother, I didn't want to believe it. And I said, that's okay. So we came back and all the nightmares started in end of September. He had one ear infection after another one ear infection after another one. So from September, October, November, we had 5 ear infections. So he would take antibiotics for 10 days, take a break, 10 more days or 15 days, and he gets ear infection again. We go to the doctor gives different antibiotics, and then he takes it for 10 days, maybe 1 or 2 weeks of break. Again, we need to go back to the doctor. So um, at the end of December, the doctor sent us finally to ENT doctor. So we went to ENT doctor, and then ENT doctor told us that we need to put tubes on his ears. So in January 2016, we had the surgery. We put tubes on his ears with a small surgery. Uh, at the same time, like when he started having ear infections, uh, I started looking at internet, what is wrong with that? And my husband kept telling me, my mother-in-law kept telling me that maybe he has autism. And I'm the only one keep trusting the pediatrician. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against doctors. Thank God we have a doctors. Otherwise, we all would be blind, bald, with no teeth. But when it comes to chronic infections, chronic diseases, doctors don't know what to do. They don't know. This kind of situation, you need to go with a diet or with some kind of different kind of uh, you need to go different doctor, not the doctor, a specialist. So sometimes it was there. It was like October, I think, and sometimes around October, I saw one YouTube video, and the one professor was telling that if your son has, if your child has this symptoms, uh, that means he has autism. So out of 10, 5 was there. So, for example, he flapped his hands, he doesn't look at the eyes, he puts toys in order. So, that kind of examples. So, I thought that must be it. So, but unfortunately, in America, it's so hard to get to neurologists. So we stayed in a long line, and in April 2016, they told us that our son has severe autism. At that time, I think they didn't tell us he's nonverbal. Later, they told right away. No, later, the second evaluation, they told us that he is nonverbal. So the nightmare begins. He stopped sleeping. He would wake up every single night screaming. He was drooling, and we never get out of the diapers. And he had a chronic diarrhea at that time. And to be honest with you, I didn't know what to do with him. I started going to one doctor, second, third, fifth, every single doctor. I took him to like different states to see different doctors, thinking that maybe someone else out there knows that what's wrong with him. And if you look at my phone, and in my phone, that letter D, it's I don't have a friend with letter D. All goes to doctors. So so in Chicago, we changed many pediatricians, ENT doctors, neurologists, developmental pediatrician, um, um, psychologists, psychiatrists, but there was no results. He was getting like worse every night, every day. It was getting worse and worse. And one day I came up somewhere in the internet. I found a book about gluten-free and dairy-free diet, and I said maybe that will help. So we started gluten-free and dairy-free on May 2016. It helped for 1.5 years. For 1.5 years, it helped us. At that time, we moved from downtown Chicago to Evanston, and I put him to school, regular school, inclusive school. So he was with simply developmental children. There were 25 of them, and he was with special aid, and he was doing great. Everything was going well. I was so happy that he doesn't have to go to special needs school, and he can go to regular school. And at that time, his friends, IQ of his friends were 5 years old, but he was like 4. And I said, that's okay. 1 year later, that's fine. But then after 1.5 years in 2018, the ear infections came back. So gluten-free and dairy-free stopped working. One of the tubes fell. So we have to, oh, let me tell you something else. Before that, way back in 2015, we had another surgery. We put tubes, and then we take the adenoids out. But the doctor told us that we're gonna leave the tonsils because tonsils are fine. It doesn't bother him. After surgery, after 10 days of surgery, he got infected again. His tonsils were all swollen, and it was like very bad shape. So we need to take the antibiotics again. And then I think after like 3 months, we had another surgery to take the tonsils out. So in 2018, all the nightmares came back. he started screaming, and the teachers couldn't understand, like, what's wrong with him? Why he's screaming? He was so good all this time. And I said, I don't know. We started going to the one doctor, second doctor, third doctor, fifth doctor. And we had another surgery. We take it off, all the tubes out, and put new tubes. And it wasn't helping. It wasn't helping at all. He started having a fungus. So it was make his situation worse. So on May, we moved to Miami, and I thought, oh, maybe that's opportunity. Let me start looking new doctors. I changed all the doctors here, new school, new house. Everything was very bad again. It was getting worse and worse. He started waking up at nighttime. Like, to me, this is the hardest life, my hardest time in my life, 2018 and 2019. It was, I don't even want to think about it. I want to delete it from my brain this time. But I'll tell you, one time, I'll tell you what happened. My son was screaming 165 times per hour. Can you believe it? The ABA therapists came and they counted. So he was screaming 165 times per hour. He would wake up every single night. Every single night, he would wake up at 2 a.m., scream, 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 scream until 5 a.m. And then he would get tired and knock down. He'd fall asleep. Same thing at school. We changed many schools here in Miami. And I didn't know what to do. I was about to lose my mind. I didn't know what to do with this child. It was very hard. We were changing one psychiatric medication to second one, to third one. Nothing was helping. All those pills would help a little bit for maybe 2 weeks, maximum 3 weeks, and then he starts screaming again. So we tried probably like 10 or 12 psychiatric medication. And then nighttime, the melatonin was not working anymore. It would work at the beginning, and then it stopped working. And it was very hard. And then I found this book, the Yellow Book, Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride's Yellow Book. This gave me all the answers. This book written feels like it's written for my son. It gives me all the answers, why this has happened, how this has happened, and then where it started. Because to me, it was very important to find why me, why this has happened with me, why I don't have a normal life. I didn't push to have a special needs child. Why this has happened with me? It was very hard for me to accept that fact that I'm trapped. Now I cannot go to school. I cannot go to work. I'm trapped with this child. I have to be like, I have to have a miserable life. And the book gave me all the answers. So we started GAPS diet, but because he was very picky, he was like super picky child. He used to eat only 5 food: chicken nuggets, oatmeal, bread, and cookies, and all that crap, cereal. And then he ate at that time eggs and milk. That's it. He ate only 5 kind of food. And um, I tried give him soup with the ABA therapist. It didn't go well, so I said I give up. I said it's not working. So I was still following the gluten-free and dairy-free because he was allergic to gluten and dairy. But then I skipped it. And then in 2019, in internet, I found there's a courses to become GAPS coach. I wasn't planning to become GAPS coach. I just wanted to learn how to feed my child because I grew up in Soviet time, and for us, it's very important. Uh, we grew up eating like normal, good, healthy, nutritional food. But to me, it was very important so he can eat normal, but not frozen chicken nuggets. And I took courses, and at the same time, we started the diet. So, how did we start a diet? He was going to school, and little by little, I have a video in my YouTube how we started to feed him. So, I start feeding him soups, fermented food, and um, meat and meat stuff. And after 6 months, I can see that physically he started getting more healthier. The ear infection were gone, and the ear infection was gone, and he started smiling, but he was still screaming. He screamed until after we started. So 2019 we started. 2021 he stopped screaming. After 1 year and 4 months, he stopped screaming. And at the same time, he started talking. It sounds like unbelievable, and sounds like fantasy, but it's true. He started talking, and it was miracle. To me, this is miracle that food can change child's life. The only you need to change the diet. So right now he's very happy. He wakes up happy. He doesn't scream. So what happened during this time when we started? We've been in GUPS for 1.5 year about. And let's say before, when in 2016, when I find out about his problems, we were going all different kind of doctors, all different kind of therapies. Like I was taking him to ABA therapy, OT, speech, um, swimming, horse therapy, uh, art therapy, music therapy, physical therapy, and then what else? That's all different kind of therapies I took him, and it doesn't help. We spent so much money, like tons of money we spent for my son. It was like nothing. It it helps a little bit, but then every time he gets sick, he catch a flu, or every time he has a surgery, he goes all the way back. In our case, like usually in autism, they say one step forward, two step back. In our case, it was one step forward, 10 step back. So every time we need to start it from the beginning. It was very hard to me for us to start from the beginning, but it feels like failure. Like you work so hard for 1 year and for nothing. After another infection, your child goes all the way back and you have to start from the beginning. So right now, what do we have? He doesn't have any digestive problem. He doesn't have ear infections. He sleeps at nighttime. Every night he sleeps very good. He stopped having steams and tantrums. Maybe once in a while he does it. He's very calm and happy. The most important part, he wakes up happy, and that's the important part. And potty training, I didn't potty train him. He just stopped wearing diapers nighttime and daytime. He started talking. He started behaving much better at school with his teacher, with his classmates. He started learning alphabet right now. Actually, he knows the alphabet. We're trying to put together the words. So a lot of pluses. And the most important, he started talking. Finally, I heard his voice, because to me it was very important to hear his voice. He screams, but he would never say, "Mom, I want this," or "I don't want this, give me this." I never heard about this words. So that was our progress. If you have a nonverbal autistic child, you need to do GAPS diet. There's no other way. The doctors, scientists didn't make different kind of They didn't invent the pill which your child will take it and then everything will be fine. No, it's not there. And you need to read this book probably 3, 4, 5 times, or you can take courses if you want. You can work with the um, specialist or do it by yourself. The thing is, it's the free. You can do it for free. You don't have to suffer for the rest of your life. The autism, of course, it didn't go anywhere. It's still there, but I don't care. I don't care that he doesn't, he's not going to go to normal school with typically developmental children. Maybe he'll never going to get married. I don't care. To me, most important that he's happy. I am happy. My mom and dad happy. His grandma and grandpa from that side, they're happy. That's the most important part. I think he doesn't steam. He sleeps at nighttime. He's like physically, he's super healthy, and mentally, it's getting his brain start clearing up. To me, that one is the most important part. I don't know about you. Thank you very much. My computer is about to die. I will start inviting more people and take interview from them to talk about their problems and how they solved it. And stay with me. Thank you so much.